So come on in, take a sip. Let's wind down. It is a gorgeous Friday night here in Weiden in der Oberpfalz. And we decided that we were going to go ahead and grab dinner. So we came down to Kostas Taverne. It's a Greek restaurant. Shazi, you had what? 2 Suzukis and 1 Souvlaki? 1 souvlaki, 2 Suzukis. I had 1 beef tikka and some warm sheep's cheese. Quite delicious. And of course, German summers being what they are, just idyllic. It's just so idyllic. It's just beautiful. It's maybe 70 degrees out, maybe 65, 68, somewhere in there. There's just no humidity. It's a lovely night, not much wind to speak of. People are out in the Fußgängerzone here in the Altstadt and the pedestrian zone. Lots of shopping, and of course our flat is literally that way, a few hundred meters, not even, maybe 100 meters, maybe. Less than a football field. So not quite 100 meters. But let's go ahead and pull up our grid here. You know, we're having a domestica Greek wine. It is a lovely pale red. It is just gorgeous. It is exactly what you would think of when you're thinking, I'm going to Greece and I'm going to have a fantastic dinner with a fantastic Greek wine. And it's always that lovely little touch that they bring to the table when they bring you your automatic refill service, which is just fabulous. So, come on in, take a sip, let's wind down. We'll have Greek tonight, which we did, and then we'll hop into our grid. Let's see what we got here today. Looks like we've got a 20 June construction by Adrianne Baik, edited by Will Short. So let's hop on in and see what we got. Okay, looks like it's settled. All right. Blank jolie, maybe très jolie, maybe. Appear overprotective. What an interesting designed grid we have here today. This is really quite remarkable. I would have loved to have had this grid to build, but boy, let me tell you, that might have been an awful lot of work. I mean, just getting right down to it. So, cultural attraction in London's Covent Garden neighborhood. I can't help but feel that that's going to come to me since I've only been there a million times. Campaign reminder. What do you think? Maybe every vote matters. And you know what? Well, before this gets too crazy, I'm just going to slip us right on into airplane mode right now so that I don't have to deal with all of the notifications. Sorry that I do that ahead of time. Mea culpa. So, campaign reminder. How about every vote? I bet you anything. If like every vote matters or counts or something along these lines. I don't know. Let's put our vote in and then let's do our down checks to see where we're at on that, because something tells me that's probably going to be the case. Brief moment in time, maybe a sec. So, pure overprotective could be 2 hover so far. Looking like we're pretty good on our every. Mate's reply. Mate's reply. That E there, so I'm thinking maybe an I. Captain. Natural pitch could be tar. Olympian Reisman is alley, as a matter of fact. And they're long stories. We've got this V kind of stuck there, a little weighted toward the front, but in the middle, maybe novels. Mushroom to be, maybe a spore. That's clever. And so what do we got here? Looks like it's settled. I bet that answers that. That answers that. Let's just check it. So make slick, maybe wets. And before in a poem could be air. So yes, the Royal Opera House. Okay, so we're getting this down here. Now we got to figure out what we've got here for every vote, because every vote matters. Now that ain't gonna work, but maybe counts. So masked bandits could be raccoons, and I think we've got our counts here. which is clever as all get out. Queen Elizabeth II had over 30 of them, and these are a Welsh dog variety, corgis. Beautiful. Sound from a crib could be a rattle. Concave cooking items. Give me a walk. Puppy's plaint. In a state could be shook up. Offerings at colleges and museums. How about tours? So let's go over and make sure that what we have lined up at the end is going to work. And for bubbly option, we have Asti, and then model holiday. How about Tess? Looking pretty good. I think we have walks over here. And let's see, one side of a list could be the pros. I always stay away from the cons at all costs for some reason. I just am always the cup is half full guy. It's always half full. I mean, I don't know. I round everything down. You know, if it's $6.99, I say it's $6. I mean, my wife rounds it up to like 8. You know, she counts in like tax. I'm like, you know, we don't have taxes here in Europe, right? Like, no sales tax. She's like, it doesn't matter. You know, be realistic. Like, no, I don't do good with realism. But really, Shotzi's smiling and nodding. Really, what a fantastic dinner tonight. Fantastic dinner, wonderful wine. K, I'm thinking it's a thou. I don't know what else that could possibly be. Blank Jung Jae, Emmy-winning star of Squid Game, and I know that is Lee. So let's see where that takes us. Trudge could be to... I don't know yet. What 2 can stand for? 2 maybe? Sci-fi android or droid familiarly. How about R2? But we're not talking about C-3PO. C-3PO. Our fellow diners look at me like I'm quite strange, and it's okay. Crux here could be the main point. Go about. Pet sayings. How about ARFs? I think this is Rome, and it kind of helps here. So maybe this is to tromp. Trudge, tromp. So let's see here. Retro means of communication. How about a flip phone? Yeah, that'll work. Jaden Smith to Will Smith would be the son. Rolo is a caramel-filled sweet. Very nice. Spoil could be to taint. This is the greatest part. Reddit rule enforcers. How about mods? Variety of violet. I was reading a book about mazes. I got lost in it. How about a pun? Which you should immediately be sent to the penitentiary for. Dad jokes. Big name in bookstores. Hairstyles that can be messy. How about messy buns? Preceding, maybe prior to? Is that Barnes? Did Barnes and Noble split up, or is this just a trick question? I mean, I don't know. Torn. Rent, maybe? So move slightly closer as a baseball fielder. Loose items in a purse perhaps could be coins. So that works as well. I guess our puppy's plaint would be to wine. Idly dreams, I guess moons. I don't know that I've heard that. When I hear the word moons, I'm thinking you have exposed your backside to someone in an act of jest or defiance, vulgarity, fun, whatever. I mean, pick your whatever. It's fine with me. I think it's kind of funny, but leaning could be a bias, which is also fun, like Greenland. Well, I'm going to go with Danish. So, part of a car's dashboard, no idea, but I want to check Danish because I think I was a little, well, that was a bit aggressive, maybe a little too enthusiastic, maybe really comfortable with at this point. Rider with a monument in Florence is Piazza Santa Croce. Okay. So I'm fairly certain this is going to be Dante. But one of the ways to remember is that, that he's from Florence, right? And you kind of get that in your head. And anytime you see something about a writer or a poet who mentions something in Florence, you can kind of put those two things together. Just kind of like anything to do with a school or alumni, alumnus, an old boy, an old girl in England. 4 letters probably going to be Eton. Just kind of what that is. Request by those under 21. Okay. This is the greatest part. Maybe we're talking about the lion's share. Now that is also very clever. Winds up, ends, maybe its first sale was a flamingo print zip pouch for $8. And I guess we're talking about Etsy here. And dweller near Dubai would be an Omani. And so I guess that gave us a pansy up here as a variety of violet. Nice. Trendy could be hip, and that kind of works. Request by those under 21. Little annoyance could be a pest. Clock standard. Nonchalant comeback. Maybe it's time for us to look at some of these long ones here. Nonchalant comeback. Very, very close. Everybody's talking about it. Okay, so do you see this angle here? Everybody's talking about it. Just down at the end looks like street to me. So I'm assuming this is going to be maybe word on the street. So move slightly closer as a baseball fielder could be to cheat in, which is beyond clever. Actually, that's brilliant. Coffee roaster's creation could be a blend. Is request by hit me is in 21 is in blackjack. Now it's made sense. Munch could be to chow. Actor Paul of 12 Years a Slave. I can't remember that young man's name. So maybe the part of the car's dashboard could be a CD slot. Mix up could be to stir. So I think we've got ourselves a nonchalant comeback, which I actually said today to Shotzi during a conversation. Haters gonna hate. I don't remember what we were talking about, but I did say that exact phrase today. Haters gonna hate. Very, very close. So Pepperwhite, we're going to be on intimate terms. And OMG in modern spelling, I have no idea. You can no more win a war than you can win an earthquake. Jeanette Rankin, beautiful saying. How did we do, Bob? So not bad. Not bad at all, actually. It was a pretty clever grid in every way possible. I loved the long clues up top. Those were just brilliant. Let me select these up here. So that answers that. Royal Opera House, every vote counts. I didn't notice that we had a theme of any point here today, except for the crux, perhaps, that we had here at 32 Across. I love seeing the flip phone make it through. Haters gonna hate on intimate terms and word on the street. Just a beautifully constructed grid, really. Very well done. So we'll go ahead and bring down our Benny de Adieu. And it's times like this that I really wish I hadn't eschewed carbs and whatnot. It'd be nice to have some spanakopita or something like this. Back in the old days, we used to always enjoy that when we would go to the Jazz Cafe in Fort Worth, Texas, every Friday night, and we would eat Greek food and listen to live jazz played by Mr. Nick Keithis himself. It was such a wonderful, wonderful time. But thank you all so very much. I appreciate everybody subscribing. The subscriber count, we're well over 5,100 subscribers today, which is just remarkable. We must be doing something right out there. But if you have any suggestions or any any plaints, by all means, shoot them my way. I'm happy to listen to anything. This is about us. It's not a me thing. It's an us thing. It's a community, and I just really appreciate everyone more than y'all could possibly know. So that said, until we see you tomorrow for the Saturday Grid, ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, servus, grüß Gott, ciao, Cin-Cin from the Taverne Kostas in Weiden in der Oberpfalz. Auf Wiedersehen. Be well. Try to be nice to strangers if you can do it.